Jordan, thank you so much for joining us. We have had a chance to talk a little bit before the cameras got rolling. And the first thing that I noticed about you is insane levels of confidence and conviction. And so the question I want to ask is, I saw you talk to Brian Rose on London Real about how you were insecure
I
as a
love
child.
Brian Rose, by the way.
It was a great conversation.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because you had talked about how your pursuit of money and power came from a desire to quell those insecurities. And then it turns out that didn't work. So then the drugs come in, also not the most effective. I'm curious, what did work? What did help, if anything, get rid of those childhood insecurities?
Sure.
Because I think everybody battles with that to some degree.
Yeah. There are two types of people, those that are battling, those that are denial about battling. I never had, right?
No, exactly.
I guess there's some kids, I was the football captain since those, and those are very rare.
You'd be surprised. I think they're just as insecure.
Just as insecure too, right? So one thing I would say is that, apparently confident, apparently
That's why I asked.
certain. So, again, I think part of what I'm able to do naturally, and I've trained myself over the years, is that I can sound absolutely certain and appear to be absolutely confident, even if I have some fear inside, or I'm not quite as confident as I seem. Now, I wouldn't, in my own personal life, it's very different. I would never try to act confident if I wasn't confident to my family members and my friends. So the face I put on my friends and my family is one thing. When it comes to the business world and in people I don't know, and obviously, like everyone else, I'm out there putting my best face on. Sure. And hopefully over the years, I think at this point in my life, I have become more confident and more secure just by my own good works and success. I think the biggest thing for me was that when I made all this money at a young age, as I said on Brian Rose, I thought that it would fill some hole in me. I felt like, I went into adulthood with a lot of insecurities, and it was weird because like my outward, what I ended up becoming, I was a late bloomer as a kid, right? So like I look in the mirror and everyone could see, a handsome or good looking person that seems to have it all together, but you're still that little boy inside, right?
Yeah. I have the same thing.
Yeah, it's very common, as you said. I think most people feel like that, right? And you see those beautiful women that they don't feel it inside, right?
Funny. I was 5'2" when I started high school, and people now are like, "Oh yeah, you must have just had it all." And I was like, "No, man, I was getting beat up. I was 120 pounds."
So I think for me, what happened is this comeback from losing everything. And then actually starting and rebuilding myself from scratch has given me an inner fortitude and self-confidence. And also I help so many people with my stuff. Like I teach stuff that really works, that's really effective. And I can't tell you how many emails I get every day and every messages I get from people saying, "You changed my life, you changed my life." I can't walk down the street. My girlfriend tells me, I cannot walk down the street in public without someone coming up to me within a minute. "You changed my life.
Wow.
Thank you." That did something to me. Really, that was like, wow. Like, I'm like, it gave me a sort of inner confidence that I really feel great about what I do. And I think ultimately, you're always going to be part of that little boy that had, but again, after a while, as you start to grow up and you start to experience life, you say, you know what? No one's perfect. Everyone's got the same shit, so to speak, right?
Sure.
And you learn to say, I want a few good friends in this world that I really care about, someone that I love, my children. Life takes on, I don't mean to be like woo-woo stuff.
No, this is the question that I want to hear about.
No, but but life starts to take on a bit of a different meaning as you get a bit older.
Sure.
I'm okay. Yep. My friends love me. I help people, and I'm doing good things, good works. I think there's a lot in good works.
Yeah. So I think